President Obama is in Oklahoma this morning after working hard to fight off critics of the nuclear deal with Iran. He faced more than an hour of tough questions at Wednesday's White House news conference. There was a tense moment when our Major Garrett asked why the agreement does not deal with American prisoners Iran is holding.
As you well know, there are 4 Americans in Iran, 3 held on trumped-up charges, according to your administration, and 1 whereabouts unknown. Can you tell the country, sir, why you are content with all the fanfare around this deal to leave the conscience of this nation and the strength of this nation unaccounted for in relation to these 4 Americans?
The notion that I'm content as I celebrate with American citizens languishing in Iranian jails? Major, that's nonsense. And you should know better. I've met with the families of some of those folks. Nobody's content. And our diplomats and our teams are working diligently to try to get them out. Now, if the question is why we did not tie the negotiations to their release, think about the logic that that creates. Suddenly, Iran realizes, you know what, maybe we can get additional concessions out of the Americans by holding these individuals. We are working every single day to try to get them out and won't stop until they're out and rejoined with their families.
Major is with us now from the White House. Good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
Major, you're a good reporter, and all of us have asked questions that we wish we had perhaps asked differently. Second thoughts?
No. Look, the position I'm in, I asked the question I asked, and I can't take it back. The president believed I was suggesting he was content with the Americans' captivity. That wasn't the basis of my question. It wasn't my intent. What I wanted to drive at aggressively was why, in a context where the president conceded many times in that press conference that choices had to be made and priorities had to be established, these 4 Americans were not prioritized in the context of the Iran deal. I believe that's an important question on behalf of the 4 families and for this entire issue of hostages in general, which this administration has struggled with. And personally, Charlie, I've done some soul searching about whether I've been aggressive enough as a reporter on behalf of hostages who are Americans held overseas.
Do you believe that the president is content to leave the conscience of the nation unaccounted for?
I don't. And the whole point of the question, Charlie, was why were these 4 Americans not accounted for in the context of negotiating a wide range of issues with the Iranians? Remember, in the final hours of this deal, the Iranians put other things on the table that hadn't been previously discussed. The arms embargo on conventional weapons and ballistic missiles. If those could be introduced, it seems to me that it's reasonable to ask the commander-in-chief if other issues on the American side could have been introduced. I suggested there might have been one, the fate of 4 Americans. I stand by that.
Do you think you got an answer to your question?
The great thing, Gail, about America and a free press and an accountable political class is I get to ask questions. It's a huge responsibility. I am perhaps an imperfect articulator of those questions, but I ask them. Politicians give me answers, and then the public, as they have for the last 24 hours, can pick apart every part of the question and the answer.
All right, Major, thank you.